What's up, y'all? Wallamoose here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Shopify products, how to upload them, and best practices for descriptions. But before I begin, my name is Josh, aka Wallamoose, and I post here on YouTube once a week with videos regarding digital business. And so if you're interested in that, please subscribe. I'd love to have you along for the ride. But without further ado, let's jump in here and get started. Alrighty, so we're here in Shopify again, and before we get into creating your product and categories, let's talk about the three different types of products you can have in your Shopify store, and that is dropshipping, print fulfillment, and physical products. So let's talk about that first one. Dropshipping is essentially where you have products in your store, but you don't keep the physical inventory with you. Instead, it's held at a third-party supplier or warehouse where when people buy from your store, instead of you shipping it out, that order will go to the warehouse or the supplier, and then that supplier will ship it out to the customer. There's some pros and cons to this, which means there's a lot of competition and a lot of people are doing this. And so you can kind of get low quality stuff and you got to be careful about that. So choosing your supplier is probably the most important step in dropshipping. Now, within Shopify, let me go back here real quick. I don't want to talk about it too much, but within the App Store, you can actually choose your supplier. And there's companies like Aberlo, Spocket, AliExpress. Those are all really good drop shippers. And within those apps, you can upload products directly to your store. So that's not what this video is about. It's not choosing a drop shipper. It's just products in general. So if you're interested in drop shipping, you look at those apps and see which one's best for you. A few things to think about is where your supplier is located. If you're shipping to the United States, find a supplier within the United States, and so there's less shipping times. Now, the downside of that is if you choose something like AliExpress, which is located in China, the price of the item is cheaper, so you're making more profit, but the shipping time is longer. So there's some things to weigh out when choosing drop shipping, but again, I don't want to talk about it too much and bog down this video. The second thing is print fulfillment. So print fulfillment is kind of like drop shipping, but with printed items. So if you're selling t-shirts, maybe you're a graphic designer or an artist, and you want to sell your designs on t-shirts, but you don't want to print and keep physical products in your store, you can do print fulfillment. So just like drop shipping, there's an app, go to the App Store. You can use apps like Printful or Printify, which actually I'll be using. I think I'm using Printful. And you can upload your designs, and same thing, you'll upload the t-shirt to your shop, but when someone buys your t-shirt or buys from your shop, it'll go directly to the printer, they'll print it and ship it out to the customer. So kind of like drop shipping, but with printed items. And then the third thing is physical products. So if you don't want to deal with someone else shipping or maybe the high cost of drop shipping, you can actually create your own products, and this is good if you have your own business, your own unique product, or you just don't want to deal with drop shipping or stuff like that. That's the easiest thing to do because you're uploading your own products, and then that's that. There's not really much to talk about with that one. So weigh out which one you want to use. If you want to use one of the apps, check out the app, see which one's the best for you. But if you just have your own products, we can jump right into this next step. So I'm actually going to walk you through how to create your product, some best practices for writing a description, some meta descriptions, organizing categories and stuff like that. So alright, so let's jump right in. Now, before you upload any products, you want to create collections, which is essentially Shopify's categories. And you want to do this first because you can select in the dropdown once you upload your product. So click this product button right here, and it'll expand a sub menu. And you can see right here collections. So we're actually going to do this first. Right now, if you don't have any, it should just say homepage. I'm going to go ahead and delete this because I don't need it. And we're going to create a new collection. So think about your products, how you want to organize them and group them, and go up here to create collection. So I am doing print fulfillment laptop sleeves. And so as you can see, I had one collection called abstract. I'm going to do one as nature, maybe, good for this video. So the title right here, this is what the title of your collection will be. And this will show up in your menu, in your product description, wherever the category is visible. So keep it short and concise and make it easily visible. Now, description, I don't normally write the description of the collection because I'm just going based off the title. So feel free to fill this out if you want, but you certainly don't have to. Same for the collection image. If you want to have collections on your homepage, it's good to have a collection image so it's not just a blank thing on your homepage. You actually have an image associated with it. This could be a collage of products within that collection, or it could just be a mock-up of one product. So Essentially anything that tells your viewer what this collection is about. So upload your image right here, and then we'll go on to collection type. So if you have a ton of products and you want to automate the process, you can actually automate your categories. So whenever you upload a product, if it's got certain keywords, maybe a price threshold, you can automatically associate it with this collection. So let's say for the purpose of this, I want an automated system. So it's got to meet all conditions here. So let's say the product title contains nature in it. So if my product title has nature in it, it's going to be associated with this category automatically. Or let's say you have categories based on price points. You can have price is greater or is less than $10. And so let's say your category title is $10 or less. That's a good way to automate that. So I'm going to go back to nature. And then for me, I actually don't want to automate it. So I'm going to hit manual. And what this means is when I upload my product, I'll have to manually select which category, which I'm not going to have a lot of products, which is okay. So I'm good with manual, but choose which one you want. It kind of depends on the amount of products you have and the ease of use later down the road. So now we're going to go here to SEO. SEO is whenever this collection happens to pop up in Google. Let me go over to Google and show you. So whenever you search something like the Florida Keys, this blue is the title and this text is the body. That is just what's popping up in here. So nature themed laptop sleeve is what I want the title to be, and that's what will pop up here. And then the body description, it can be up to 320 characters. Let me take a second to think about what I want to do with that. Okay, so I just did this really quick. It's kind of dumb. I might change it later. You certainly want to have at least like 2 sentences to give some heft to it. And then when also you're writing it, you want to have keywords within it. And keywords are essentially what you search in a search engine, and it tells Google that it needs to pull this up because it's relevant to the search. And so laptop sleeves, protect your computer, ultra protective, all those are good keywords. Same for laptop sleeve in the title. You really want to put some stuff in there so Google knows what this category is about. And then your handle, nature, that's good. That's just what will pop up in your URL. So take a minute to think about what you want to put in there. And then here's a nice little preview so we can see what it looks like. So once you're done with that, hit save. And then we can go back to our categories and you can see it right here. So now for the fun part, we can actually upload our products. So let's go to products. And as you can see, I have one right here. If you don't have any, just go up here to add product and it will take you to a blank template. This one's obviously filled in because I've done it before, but it would be good to walk you through it. So going back to dropshipping and print fulfillment, if you are doing that within the app, once you push things to your store, it will populate in here and you can go in and edit it. So I have this app called Printful where I uploaded this design and it pushed this laptop case to my store, and now I can go in here and edit the description. If you do that, sometimes it'll have a default description. I would always change it because a lot of people are doing that same thing and you don't want to just be like the rest of the crowd. You want to kind of update it a little bit. So the most important thing is your title. Obviously the title tells the viewer what your product is about, and you want to have it as descriptive and clean as possible. You don't want to make it super long. You just want to have them cut and dry what it is. So pastel shapes, laptop sleeve. Perfect. Now let's get into the description. The description is probably the most important part, but a lot of people won't read it. But even though people won't read it, you want to make sure you have some quality and some good descriptors to it. So I like to break my description down into the what, the why, and the specs. So the why, let's talk about that first. If your product is worth buying, there's going to be a why associated with it, and that is why the customer needs your product or why they should buy your product. So I have a little hook right here to get people's attention. It's in bold. If you want to change the boldness, just do it up here in this little menu. You can certainly change the header to make it bigger. I actually kind of like that, so I may do that. So my hook is, you wouldn't walk around naked, so why should your computer? And obviously that'll be like, what? That'll catch people's attention because they see the word naked and so they want to read further. Now in this body, I'm going to talk about the what and the why. So it's no secret that laptops can be pretty pricey, and that's why you need to protect it the best way you can. So they're making an investment buying this laptop and they want to protect it. That is why they need this product, to protect their hefty investment. And then I'll kind of break down what the product is. And so with this snug and lightweight laptop sleeve, you can be confident that your computer will be as protected as possible. And then talking about you can prevent scratch marks. The interior is lined with faux fur. So more descriptors to make this product more enticing to them. So after that, think about what you want to do. You want to make it catchy, but you also want to make it of value to the viewer. And then below that, let's talk about the specs. And so this is where you break down kind of the more technical stuff, what the product is made of, how big it is, what it's good for. So padded zipper binding, faux fur interior, all these things that are important for the customer to know. And then below that, I always like to link to other products in my store. And that's because maybe someone doesn't like this specific product, they can find one that's related and maybe they click on it, and although they don't buy this one, they could buy that one. So I only have one product in my store right now, so I have placeholders. But once you start building up your products, start internally linking them to each other, and you can really get a good web flow within your website. And so all you need to do is highlight the text, add a hyperlink, and then you can actually link to the other product in your store. So always link to other products in your descriptions. And then down here, a size guide is always a good idea. If you have t-shirts, I would always recommend the size guide. If you're drop shipping or print fulfillment, these kind of push through with it. And so this is actually from the printer. So it's all accurate, and it just helps the viewer know whether it's going to fit their laptop or not. So that's some good tips for the description. Just make sure you want to have it as descriptive as possible, so the viewer knows exactly what they're getting. Now let's talk about the media. Pictures are arguably the most important part of your listing because it gets a good visualization of your product. And so since this is print fulfillment, I only have one option. It's a picture of the design. But let's say you're selling jewelry, you want to make sure you have multiple angles. If you have t-shirts, you want to show it on a model, without a model. Just add as many pictures as possible to make it as good and enticing as possible. Now let's go down here to options. So if your product has different options, let's say whether it's got different sizes, different materials, here's where you can add that. So if you don't have any, it'll say add an option, and you don't want to add, like let's say I added 13 inches right here, and then I added another option for 15 inches. You want to have them within the same thing. So the name right here, as you can see, the size or color, different colors, and then values, let's just say 13 inches like above. And here's what I was mentioning. So I want to have both measurements within the same option. That way when they click on it within their listing, let's see if I have a preview pulled up. Okay, so this is what it looks like in my store. And now when I click on 15, it'll pull up this image, 13 will pull up this image, and as you can see, it's under the size category. If I had them separate, it would kind of stack them, and you don't want that. You want them under the same thing. So let me just trash this because I already have it up here. And then the variants down here, you can actually associate different images with the different variants. And so if you're doing different color variants, you can have it so where when they click on this, it pulls up the different colors so they can visualize it with the selection. Now 13 and 15 inches, it looks the same from the picture, so it's hard to visualize me talking to you that, or it's hard to, whatever. You essentially can just tag images with those selectors. And then if you have different prices, and so the 13 inches is $24.99, 15 inches is $27.99, you can change that as well. And then if you want to add a variant, you can. If you only have one variant, don't worry about this. Just have the price as what it is. So this is a good way to get some fluctuation. If it's a more expensive product, you can charge a little more for it. And then down here, here's another SEO thing like I talked about with the categories. With the product title, you just want to make sure you have keywords, good descriptors, and then maybe a attribute, so like a laptop sleeve, pastel shapes. And then same for the meta description, you want to have it descriptive, keywords, yada yada yada, same thing. You just want to make sure it looks good in the search engine. And let's go ahead and save so we don't lose our progress and go over here to the column. So on this right-hand column, this is where you're going to set it as active. So yours is going to say draft, but once you publish it, it'll be active and then you can actually see it in your store. And then down here, product organization, this is where you select the collection that we just made earlier. So whichever collection this is in, so I have abstract and nature, I have it set for abstract collections. And as you can see right here, it's set for that. So whenever people search abstract collections, this product will pop up in that collection. And then down here are tags. So whenever someone searches, let's go back to your website. There's a little search thing up here. Whenever people search that, tags are what helps pull things related to their search. So shapes, protective, pastel, MacBook, all things like keywords people will search, just associating these words with this. So you can have as many as you want. You just want to make sure they're relevant and things that people would actually search for. All right, so that's that. Ooh, it's a lot, but we can go back to our product and it should be populated in here. Now there's an additional thing you can add to your listing. So within your theme, depending on which one you do, below your listing, there's going to be other options. So as you can see right here, there's going to be a pull down for materials, shipping and returns, care instructions, share, and then you can have text down here if you want. If you want to go a step further and do that, all you need to do is go to your online store after you've uploaded your product, go to themes, customize theme, and it will pull up this window. And then you just need to go to your product page. So it'll probably take you to the home page. Just click on the product and it will take you to the product editing page. Now on the left hand side there will be widgets, and depending on your theme will be differentiations between what's actually there. But for my theme, it has these handy little material, shipping and returns, and care instruction drop downs. It had a few more, but I deleted them. But you can actually edit what you want to say in here. So as you can see, pull down the drop downs. It has my materials, has shipping, so shipping is calculated at checkout, and then care instructions, so instructions on how to clean my product. So these are good if you have supplemental instructions that are applied to every single product. Now these are applied to every single product, given that you're customizing the theme, but it's good if you have the same product across your whole store. So I have these little options here, and all I had to do was go to product information, and it's all right here. So buy button, if I want to have the button maybe below the description, I can move it. If I want the title to be different, if I want subtext, all these different things are in this theme editor. So this is a really good into getting the nitty gritty of how you want your listing to look. So feel free to play with that and see how you want it to look. The possibilities are literally endless with Shopify. I really like how customizable it is. So no two stores can have the same look. They can all look unique and fun. And once we're done with that, just hit save and it should be good to go. So that was part 2 of my Shopify series. If you want to be notified when my next video comes out, please subscribe and ring that bell so you have notifications and you can stay tuned for that. If you're interested in that. But if you have this video or if you watch this video just for a one-off to figure out how to do products, I hope it helped. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below and I would love to answer them for you. But as for this video, that's it. I hope you enjoyed it. Again, hit the like button, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks for watching.